Opening theme for our podcast. Opening theme for the podcast.
I like our music, Curt Cruz.
Good morning. Yes, Wednesday is the day. It's Curt and Jen in the morning on a podcast. Thanks for being here and joining us every weekday. We put on the program for you.
Oh, what are you playing, Curt?
I was playing something for later in the show.
It's a tease, if you will, of what's coming up.
Want to find out what that is. Instagram testing out a new button, and also we'll talk about things people underestimate because anyone can do them, or so it seems, but they still take a lot of skill.
What else are we talking about? I'm not even in the right spot here.
Okay.
What is your partner has banned you from buying, or you've banned yourself from buying?
That was our question of the day from yesterday. You answered that.
Yep. What does your ideal work week look like?
We have the three the healthiest things to order at 3 popular sandwich shops, and finally the top 5 cleanest cities in the U.S. There is actually a Washington city that made this list of top 5 cleanest cities in the United States.
That's right.
Now, here's all the excitement. The great earthquake of 2025. Did you feel it yesterday?
Why are we dramatizing this?
The great earthquake of 2025. I just like saying 2025. 3.0 magnitude earthquake shook the ground. This is in East King County yesterday morning. Maybe you felt it. 9:54 a.m. I don't know where. I think you were in your car, I think, Jen. You maybe didn't feel it, but 9:54 yesterday at depth of just over 5 miles beneath the surface, centered about 44 miles east of Tacoma. The closest town was a town called Lester, Washington, which is a ghost town closed to public access, according to the Washington Trails Association.
Wait a second. First of all, I've never heard of Lester, and it's a ghost town that's closed to public access. Let's sneak in and find out what's going on.
I think that we should. And I always thought it would be neat if I had stupid money to buy a ghost town, you know.
What would you do with it?
Camp there.
You would?
Yeah, you got it. Maybe it has a little local downtown store. Downtown. You could play store in there. You could play fire person. You could start a little fire and go put it out.
Okay, Curt.
Maybe not, but that's it. So maybe if you did feel something yesterday, you're not crazy. There was actually a little earthquake there.
Feel it, feel the vibration.
You had to, didn't you? Had to.
I did.
All
okay.
right, Jen.
Yes, so there was this study done on what kind of music actually boosts productivity. My daughter, Macy, my youngest daughter, listens to music nonstop. She listens to it when she's sleeping. She listens to it during the day when she's allowed to at school. Like, she's always listening to music. But there was research that was done. There's certain kinds of music that make you more productive and certain kinds that make you less productive.
And we actually, that was a hint from a few minutes ago. We have some examples of that music. So here's what they found out, the research. Did you do all this, the first part yet or not?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so
I could do that. I could say
audio.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, they tested 4 types of audio during a cognitive task. There was workflow music, there was deep focus music, then pop hits and office noise. Yeah, just I don't know. Only the workflow music, characterized by steady rhythm, simple melodies, and moderate variations, improved both mood and performance. So we went and looked up examples of it was Googled workplace music, right? And so for productivity, this is what you need. All right. I don't know about that. I'm gonna kick around.
This is significant. More?
No, that one. I don't think I'd be more productive with that song. Here, let's try another one here.
I feel some anxiety in my body right now.
That's making you anxious? I think there's one more. I thought. Now, I really did. Nice. I really did Google workplace productivity music, and that's what came up. I don't think that would do it for me, but.
Well, it does say that 3/4 of the participants listening to workflow music showed improved mood and got progressively faster at the task while maintaining accuracy.
And then it said the other 1/4 fell asleep.
Does not say that.
I'm sorry, that would not. I mean, maybe if it was more like EDM music with a steady, techno. Yeah, you're gonna say the uns uns stuff. I don't know. I think that's good music to drive to. I don't know about productivity at work
Well, that's what they're saying. I'm just letting you know, and thank you for doing the research and getting workflow music, Curt Cruz. I like the examples.
or chill out. Let's get some sleep. Yeah.
The research doesn't lie.
That's true. Believe the science. Um, Here's something that's becoming popular, or should we say trending. Um, it's called Rent the Chicken. And maybe it has something to do with the fact that egg prices are so high. That's what I thought. Turns out that's not the case.
It isn't the case?
It's more about, well, we'll get to that. It's called Rent the Chicken. And they have locations all over the country. The closest one to us is Vancouver. And I guess I'd say I'm hoping that we would get one even closer still. It was a Jen and a person named Jen who goes by Homestead Jen. She and her husband launched the factory. I'm sorry, hatched the company in 2013. That's what's written right here. Jen says her phones have been ringing like mad, and online inquiries have seen an uptick recently due to the egg shortages. So it's not so much the price of eggs, it's the egg shortages.
Well, both go hand in hand.
Right. Here's what she said. People want to make sure that they have eggs available to them with Rent the Chicken. They don't have to worry about the price of eggs at the store. They don't have to worry about not having eggs. Seems like a great idea to me. And you rent your chickens for like a 3-month period. Like,
Wait, hold on a second. Would you and Dana do this?
We've actually talked about, the city chickens and stuff like that. I don't think we would because we'd be the annoying neighbors.
Okay, so I looked up this Rent the Chicken, rentthechicken.com, and they deliver to you everything you need. This portable chicken coop, the food that you need, I think it said 2 to 3 egg laying hens,
Yeah,
a
everything you
couple
need.
other things, everything that you need to do this, and then you get like a dozen eggs a week.
Well, they said on average 2 chickens will lay a dozen eggs a week.
Right.
So I would say Dana and I would not do it because I'm pretty sure the HOA would say, nope. But you could do it, Jen.
Out in the wool. Yeah, we have a neighbor that has a chicken coop. They made their own. It's a big one.
Well, really right there in Bothell, not in Cedro Woolley?
No, I'm in Cedro right now. That's what I mean. In Cedro across the street.
Ah, okay.
In
Well, you're used to
Cedro,
that out
yes.
there.
In Bothell, no.
You're used to that out there, way out there in the farmland.
Listen,
So again, if you're interested, rentthechicken.com.
That was not an advertisement, by the way.
I'd like to see them get a little. First of all, nobody's going to go to Vancouver to get their Rent the Chicken. I'm sorry. Even though I don't know how far south. Well, I guess you know what? Since we're doing a podcast, we don't have to worry about transmitters and towers and stuff. Everybody can listen to us. Dislike button for Instagram. What's this all about?
Well, they're testing out a new button, Instagram is, and it's the dislike button. Social media doesn't seem to have a problem generating negativity on its own. So this may sound surprising at first that they're testing out a dislike button, but it could actually be a good thing. They claim it's a private downvote to signal that you don't like something, and it's targeted at comments, not the actual posts.
Oh.
So no one will see that you disliked it, and the downvotes won't be counted and shown publicly, like on YouTube. Like, you have the down button on YouTube. You can see that.
Right.
Instead, the downvoted comments will be pushed to the bottom or hidden altogether.
So, but what's the purpose then of putting your? I mean, are they going to? If they say, let's just say for the sake of argument, we put up a post and it gets 1,000 dislikes. Do they take the post down, or
This is what the exec says. This is a test. This is only a test. Eventually, we may integrate this signal into comments ranking to de-emphasize disliked comments. Our hope is that this might help make comments more friendly on Instagram.
Oh, I'm all for that. I mean, and I can't say this enough to people that engage with trolls, but it's like if you put up a picture of a person holding a puppy, and the first 6 comments are like, "Oh, that's so sweet. How cute. What a cute little puppy." And then the next comment is, "If I had that puppy, I would squish it," or whatever,
Oh my
You're like,
God.
come on, man.
I don't know that a dislike button is going to help make comments more positive. I guess if it's moving it down down the chain,
I suppose,
you
yeah.
just won't read them. I don't know.
Or people just be nice.
Yeah.
right?
Well, that would
Just
be
Be
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I should see if justbenice.com is available. That could be us.
You've been hiding from me what you did yesterday, Curt, because the only thing I did besides help Pat with the remodel was we got to go to town.
Which town was the town? Was that Burlington?
No, we went to Cedro-Woolley town. If we go to Burlington, that's called going to the city. In
For those
these
of you who don't
parts.
know, Cedro-Woolley, as large of a town as that sounds like it might be, and also Burlington, as big of a metropolis as that sounds like it might be, no. Two little towns in Washington. What I did yesterday, I was not up in Cedro-Woolley, obviously. Our mutual friend Chris, who we used to work with at the radio station,
Yeah.
Star 101.5, knows a little bit about taking apart cars. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I said, hey, buddy, you know what? There's at least a couple beers in it for you and maybe a lunch. We went through my work van, which I described as a work van, but it's a nice van. It looks, it doesn't look like a beat up old work van.
So you're taking apart your work van, which is not in bad condition.
We're trying to find the mice.
Did you find them?
Yes,
Oh,
but we couldn't get to them. And just so you know, this is something that,
wait,
Chris
what
is
did
like,
you do? Hold on.
well, he said, how long have these mouses been in here? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, how do you know? I mean, it's in the garage. The mice have access. They have access points to get into, like any place they want to get, they can get. So we did find out that we took off the whole dashboard. We went in from the, front first from the hood down and looked around and didn't see anything. And then we're like, oh, they're up here in what they call the headlining, right?
Wait, in the roof?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't even. Oh my, if I was driving that car and a mouse dropped down from the roof, an accident would probably ensue.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I know that they do damage and they need to go, but I actually don't mind the fact that there's mice around, except that it makes things kind of smelly. You got to find the nest. So that'll be the next step. We couldn't get all that done yesterday, but at one point, Jen, you're going to love this. So we're debating whether we're going to take down the headlining, at like 9 o'clock at night, or wait. We decided to wait to another day. But in the meantime, we had taken off the visor, the visors you put down to block the sun. So where that attaches, there was a hole, and indeed, a little mouse did go and stick his head out, and I was like, Chris,
It was alive?
Yeah.
It's
Why do I not have so much of a problem with that? I mean, I'm going to get him out of there, but you're like, how can you drive around with that guy? I was like, well, we drive around with our dogs in the car.
Did you take a picture of it? Was it cute?
Well, it was just there for a second. I mean, our eyes met from across the room, Jen. Yes, it was love at first sight. No, he just popped his head out like, what's going on? And I was like, mouse, like somebody would say, gun,
Did you freak out for real? Did you freak?
No, I was like, the mouse. And then he went pew, back to wherever he is. So we're going to get it.
Oh my
It'll
God.
be part 2. I guess a lesson would be keep an eye on your vehicles, even in the garage. You can get mice too.
Holy smokes. Do you have mouse traps?
Yep. But they got to come out from up in there to get to the mouse traps. You can't put a mouse trap up in the.
You got to put some smelly, yummy things in it.
We do have smelly, yummy things in it. There's probably 6 traps around the garage and 3 in the van itself. So we'll see if that works.
With no carcasses in them?
No, I don't know. They're live traps that haven't been triggered yet, but those have been in there for a while. This is a smart mouse. So
I think there's more than one. I think there's a lot of smart mouses running around.
You know what? Where there's one, there's probably others. So it is a little frustrating. And people are like, just call an exterminator. Well, a little more hands-on these days since we were jobless, right? So like
the lack of US dollars
myself.
Has us DIYing.
Yes,
DIYing.
Getting that mouse out. All right. What do you got?
Okay. Things people underestimate because anyone can do them, but actually require a lot of skill. So there's a viral thread on social media where people are talking about things people underestimate, but are hard to do well. And here are some of the best ones. You ready?
Yeah. And the first one I agree with wholeheartedly.
Driving, everything about it. Defensive driving, maneuvering in traffic, having a feel for how big your vehicle is, being predictable, and parking.
Says not the best driver in the world, but that's okay. We still love you, Jen.
Says the mom who's teaching her teenager how to drive.
Well, that's frightening. Other things in the list that require a lot of skill that people think are easy: being a substitute teacher, not easy at all. Being a good home cooker, creating new recipes and stuff like that. Also, making a sandwich made the list there, which is
No
true.
way.
I make a good sandwich.
No way. Making a sandwich is not hard. I don't agree. Excuse me. I don't agree with that one. Starting and running a business, especially in the food industry,
Very
agree
hard.
wholeheartedly. Fast food register worker, and even more so, a drive-through worker. Someone said, have you ever been served by someone who is actually good at it?
It'll reinstall your faith in humanity. Other things, being able to give good instructions. I'm not always great at that. Anything that involves dealing with a random bunch of people. And you know what? Also on here, public speaking.
And singing and dancing.
Yeah, all those things are kind of like, oh, I'm in front of people. I got to speak or dance or sing. Difficult. And photography. Anybody thinks that, oh, I could take a good picture, but, they don't know about framing and lighting and stuff like that necessarily.
Baking groceries, and the last thing on the list, hacky sack. I think a hacky sack looks hard, and it is hard.
I don't think I've seen anybody hacky sacking for the last 20 years, but okay.
Well, I haven't either.
Maybe I haven't spent enough time on college campuses.
All right. That's the end of that.
That's that.
That's that. This is interesting. Consumer Reports looked at the healthiest options at 3 big sandwich shops, which was Chick-fil-A, Panera, and Jersey Mike's. I was surprised Subway wasn't in there, but those are the 3 they looked at for sandwiches.
Interesting. Yeah.
Those 3.
Now, can I just jump in here and say my mom used to call it Chick-fil-A, which I always thought was cute, and we told her it's Chick-fil-A, and she just kept calling it Chick-fil-A.
I mean, Chick-fil-A, I like it.
Chick-fil-A. All right, so the healthiest order at the 3 sandwich shops. We'll start with Chick-fil-A. People think that it's their cool wrap because it's got the word wrap in it, but it's actually their grilled chicken sandwich is the healthiest order. It's got half the salt, less saturated fat, all that kind of stuff. So that's again, at Chick-fil-A, they're saying it's the grilled chicken sandwich.
By the time I got done with that sandwich, it wouldn't be the healthiest because I would add cheese and I would slather on some Chick-fil-A sauce on it. Okay.
How about at Panera?
Yeah, Panera, people think it's the toasted garden caprese sandwich because it's vegetarian, but it's got a lot of mozzarella cheese, which, you know what? Bring it on.
Yeah.
Their tuna sandwich tuna salad sandwich has less saturated fat. So that's the thing to order if you're looking for healthy.
Now, at Jersey Mike's, you'd expect it, like a lot of places, you'd expect it to be the Jersey Mike's number 14, the veggie, but actually it's their grilled portobello and Swiss. It's got a third less calories, way less salt, and half the saturated fat. So if you're trying to eat at one of these delicious sandwich shops and also trying to keep an eye on, your belt line, who uses that word anymore?
Now that's what you know what to order now.
Yeah, I think so. And if you had to pick one of those 3 as your favorite, what do you think it would be? I mean, not the sandwiches, the places to go.
Oh, of those 3 places to go, probably Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Chick-fil-A seems a little different to me than the other ones. But Panera and Jersey Mike's are more like sandwich shops, and Chick-fil-A is, well, I don't know, they sell sandwiches, but somehow it seems a little different in my opinion.
I was thinking that it would have been Subway, Jersey Mike's, and what's the other really popular sandwich, like Jimmy John's?
Well, it's not.
All right. Well, here's our question of the day from yesterday. What's something your significant other has banned you from buying, or something that you've banned yourself from buying?
Yeah. And we know that a lot of significant others, like, I would never tell my SO, my wife, my husband, they can't buy anything. But in truth, what you've been banned from buying, right?
Yeah.
For me, I said yesterday, I'm not allowed to get any more guitars. And I would have to agree with Dana on that one for the time being.
I was thinking shoes or clothes, but Pat was the same as what you said. I don't control your money. I'm not going to ban you from buying anything. But then he said, now we do have limited storage. So,
right.
And when he talks about that, he's talking about my decorations for every holiday.
I have not seen, I assume that you keep those all in like Rubbermaid bins out in the garage, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that Dana and I have, for all the holidays, we had like 3 large ones and probably 4 smaller ones. And you're like, oh, that's just for Christmas for me.
I mean, Christmas is probably more than that. There's a lot of bins for Christmas. And then I have one for every 4th of July, Valentine's Day, Easter. I have a couple bins. I have St. Patrick's Day.
Halloween, of course.
Yeah. Oh, Halloween has many. Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Something your significant other has banned you from buying. Bree reported that she's been forbidden from buying or consuming Red Bull after 5 p.m. Sounds
I
reasonable.
like Andrea's. She's been banned from buying a dog for her dog.
Right. Which is along the same lines that Jen said. So she said, so after, I guess Curt is her husband.
Yeah.
So after Curt and I adopted Charlie, I made him swear. I made my husband swear to tell me no if I ever asked, begged, or pleaded for another puppy. And I've done all the above twice in the last 8 years. Curt has held strong. They're still a one puppy family.
I love how she said hashtag no more puppies. Sonia said craft supplies. I buy them and hide them for myself. And then Corey says I've been banned from acquiring more dogs. Now I will
Oh, a
tell
lot of
you,
people with the dogs.
you
Red,
love you will love Corey because she rescues dogs. Like she has a foster dog right now named Fonzie.
Fonzie, nice. Reggie said classic cars. Actually, correction, any cars. And then Jenny, no more clothes after we cleaned out my closet.
Oh, I would like to see Reggie's car collection is what I would like to see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's only 3 or 4, but that's a lot in my opinion.
Now Marilyn said butter, and I would like to know more about that because she just says butter, LOL. What?
Okay. And then finally, Randy said caramelized onions.
Oh, I know why.
Is that a
I
health thing?
no, it makes him toot like smelly toots.
Gassy? Okay.
Yeah.
On that note, I love that. Thanks for your answers on that one. How about this, man? And everybody, what does your ideal work week look like? Your ideal work week, if you had to put it together, based on, how many days a week you'd work and how long you'd work on each day. That's what we're looking for here.
Right. And of course there was a poll because that's how we get this information. And a
Mhm.
quarter of people actually said the typical setup, 5 8-hour work days.
Right. That's 1/4 of people. Another about 4 in 10, so about 40% said they'd like an extra day off. So they're saying 4 10-hour days. The mentality there, and I've always felt this as well. You're already there for 8 hours. What's an extra couple hours, 4 days a week
I agree.
to have a 3-day weekend, basically? But your boyfriend, as a firefighter, has these funky things where he's on for like 2 days straight and he's off for like, I don't know, 45.
He does 24 on, he does 24 on, 24 off, 24 on, and then 5 off. But sometimes he'll have to do 3 of those 3 days like that.
Yeah, yeah, they've got it worked out. 15% of people, when you said, what does your ideal work week look like? They said they'd like 2 extra days off. They would be okay to do 3 13-hour days, which is not quite 40 hours, but nah, not me.
You wouldn't do that?
Well, 3 13-hour days. 13-hour day seems really long.
It is. That does seem pretty long.
Yeah.
So, okay, so another 13% said they'd like shorter shifts, so 6 6-hour days. I would not want that.
No, you gotta get ready and go into work 6 days a week.
Okay, and then we get into the extremes, and there's not the percentages are obviously very low, but their extremes are 2% of people said they'd prefer to do 2 20-hour work days, and another 4% said they would do just one shift, 40 hours straight.
Wow.
I imagine the productivity toward the end of those shifts would be very, very low because they'll be sleeping.
Yeah, well, also it should be this, like you're talking about. Pat is a firefighter. I mean, they're there at the station, and sometimes they're busy the entire time, and sometimes they don't get as many calls, right? But they're there. I mean, if you're saying I'm going to work a 20-hour workday or 2 20-hour workdays, doing what? I mean, like in retail or serving at a restaurant, I don't think you physically could do that.
Well, I mean, but that's what it's saying to me. I mean, if you're a firefighter, I mean, yeah, if you get a call in the middle of the night, you got to get up and go, of course. But they're living their lives, right? They're sleeping,
Right.
they get to sleep at night again, unless they have a call, which they do often, but
And I think the 4% that said they just do one shift, 40 hours straight was how they'd like to do it. I think those people are either high or lying.
well, it's just not, I don't think it's a productive way. It's certainly not a healthy way. Anyway, there you go.
All right. We have some good news from the state of Washington.
I like this a lot. I was really happy with this. It's the top 5 cleanest cities in the US. And this is expert consensus. Like there's a lot of experts that came together, and it was based on, they looked at several cities in America, and they looked for their pristine streets, excellent air quality, comprehensive recycling programs. And they even mentioned from Seattle's innovative waste management to Minneapolis's well-maintained parks and public spaces.
Mm-hmm.
They have made environmental cleanliness a top priority through strict policies. There's a lot of things in place to make the cities clean. So here are the top 5. You want to go? How do you want to do this?
Well, we'll just say that we'll say the ones that aren't in Washington first. So it's and again, I didn't know, by the way, that Seattle had innovative waste management programs. I suppose.
I didn't either, but apparently we do.
Top 5 cleanest cities in the U.S. Number 5 is Denver. Then we're skipping over number 4. Number 3 is Long Beach, California, followed by Charlotte, North Carolina at number 2. And the cleanest city in the U.S. is Honolulu, Hawaii. But at number 4, our own lovely Bellingham, Washington, about, I'm going to say, an hour and a half north of here.
It's just like 20 to 30 minutes away from where I am right this minute in Cedar-Woolley.
Mm-hmm. And you're pretty deep. So Bellingham, and you talk about great views and stuff like that.
That's what they were saying. That's what they were talking about too. It's just like this beautiful place where you get water views, you get mountain views.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Well, if you live anywhere along the water in this state, it's going to be gorgeous, it seems.
Yeah.
But good for Bellingham. And if you're smart, there's a college there for you and everything.
Western Washington University.
Mm-hmm. What's their mascot?
Oh, I should know this because Pat's son goes there. And I have a lot of friends, kids.
No looking it up. No.
Do you know what it is?
No, but I want you to think on it so you can come up with it. You know what? If you don't think about it, it'll pop in your head.
I don't know it. Viking.
Did you look it up?
Yes, I looked it up. It's a Viking. Okay.
Time for well, we used to call this homework, but people really enjoy it, so we can't really call it homework.
It's not homework. It's our question of the day now.
Yeah.
That we post on Facebook. We'll post this on Facebook.
How about this? And I think we'll get some fun answers on this one, which is always what we want. Sometimes people will say, something really deep, and we're like, wow, we were looking for something sort of lighthearted. This one, I think, is going to be mostly lighthearted answers. The worst job you ever had.
Do you want to say yours right now, or do you want to wait till tomorrow?
I worked for like 2 weeks at this in the Midwest, at a Big Boy, You heard of Shoney's or Frisch's Big Boy or Mark's Big Boy?
No, what is that?
Okay. Well, for people that have, it's like it's a chain, but I think it's mostly in the Midwest, but it'd be like a Denny's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
What did you do there?
I was looking for a job. I was in college, and I think that I was hired to be just a line chef or whatever, cook.
A line cook.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. My worst job was, and this is not anything against the restaurant itself, because I actually loved the restaurant. It's Claire's Restaurant in Edmonds, Washington. Awesome restaurant. But I decided, this would be a fun place to work. No, I lasted like the same as you, maybe 2 weeks. I hated it. I was a hostess / clear the tabler.
Right. Which leads back to what we said before about the unappreciated skills. The people that can work at those jobs, be a line cook or line chef or whatever, like, wow, that's, there's a skill to that. So, I did not have the skill.
Yeah. I didn't love it. I could do it, but I didn't love it. So I wasn't going to spend time doing something I didn't love.
Worst job ever. Let us know.
We're going to post that on the Curt and Jen in the Morning Facebook page. Please, if you don't already, like us, follow us on the platform that you're consuming this podcast on. If you like what you're hearing, put the little heart, put the thumbs up.
Yeah. We do appreciate it so much. Every day we're here, Monday through Friday, we're here, at least for the time being. We'll see.
Every day we're hustling.
There we go.
All right. Have an awesome Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. Make good choices, find joy, spread kindness, and of course, laugh. It's good for the soul.